Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are officially over. The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero Epilogue is out, and the new Pokemon Pecharunt is available to catch after completing all of the story this game has to offer. I'm sure we're still getting mystery gifts and some new raid events every so often, but unless I do something unprecedented, we aren't getting any new content. Scarlet and Violet are in their final form. While these games have their own issues, they have worked their way up to stand toe-to-toe with Gens 3 and 5 in the battle for my all-time favorite Pokemon games. So this final small quest being released is actually pretty bittersweet. I thoroughly enjoyed this game's story and all the characters it had to offer. Well, for the most part. New features like Let's Go, Picnics, the camera, and the newest feature, the Synchro Machine, all put so much character in these games that made them stand out among the crowd. But I'm not here to do a full generation breakdown of Scarlet and Violet, that may be a video for another day. Today, I'm filling out my final Pokedex entry of Gen 9, so let's get into it. Now like I said, in order to start the event, you'll have to have completed the story events in the main game as well as both chapters of the DLC. Once that's complete, you can open up the Poke Portal and connect to the internet and use the mystery gift feature and select Get via Internet, and this will let you receive the mythical Pecha Berry gift. Once you've received the gift, walk up to the plush in the counter of Peaches and Kitakami. Once you interact with it, the quest is very straightforward, so tutorial isn't exactly necessary, but I still want to share my experience going through it. So if you haven't done the quest yourself and don't want any spoilers, then thanks for stopping by and maybe come back after you finished it yourself. And if you stick around and enjoy the video, then go ahead and consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Okay, are we safe now? Alright, let's get into it. After interacting with the plush, we immediately get a phone call from Arven. It seems like he just wants to make small talk and wants to hang out, so I agree that we can hang out at my place. When I arrive, I realize what's really happening. Arven has been talking about his casual Atraxa deck that he's built and just wants to test it out. While high-power decks are cringe, everyone is already here, and I just decide to sit down and play a game. Of course, Nemona ends up winning with her quote-unquote power level 7 Edgar Markov deck. Whatever that means, I'm just trying to have fun with my little Hobbit pals, but anyway, that's enough magic meme talk. On a serious note, this type of interaction between the group is what we needed more of in this game. While the main game story was fun, the gang wasn't really together until the very end of it. And, I mean, you'd figure out what the DLC is for, but once that came, we just got random NPC 1, 2, and 3. This is when I tell everyone that I got a note full of tickets for us all to travel to Kitakami, and they're all invited. Everyone seems excited, but all you really have to do is open up your map app on your Rotom phone, and then you can just teleport there. But one way or another, we all end up in Musui Town, and immediately have to go find one of our hosts. The kid who realistically would probably need to get his fanny pack checked every time he came into school, if he didn't live in the wonderful world of Pocket Monsters. I see that people are defending this dude all the time on Twitter, talking about how his feelings are understandable and how everyone hates him and people are just heartless. But I'm sorry, no matter how justified you are, doing bad things, treating everyone around you genuinely awful, and having this complex where the entire world is against you is never okay. Alright, jumping off my soapbox, the gang pulls up and like a true friend, Arven immediately ego checks the dude. Nemona does Nemona things and challenges Kieran to a battle, and ends up beating him in the 20 seconds it took me to take a sip of water and run over to him. Realistically, this fight would be over by the time I get there, and Nemona would be wiping her hands clean. This is where Carmine shows up out of nowhere and starts doing the chicken dance. Honestly, I'm sitting here writing the script, and chicken sounds pretty good. I might have to go get Canes later. Well, somehow, none of us noticed that Carmine's bright yellow eyes changed to purple, so we just take her home and put her to bed thinking that that's gonna fix something. Yeah, mine. Give. I'm not gonna let you guys keep the best legendary in the franchise. Nope, mine. But it's getting late at this point, so we all head over to the rec center to hang out. Honestly, Penny, I agree. This is about when Nemona disappears, and we decide to split up and search for clues. Penny and Arven stay at the center in case Nemona returns, and I go outside to search, and this dude just tags along. That's when we get outside, and something just feels off. And then we end up spotting two villagers standing out in the open, and I didn't know Kieran was going to be battling with me, so I end up playing the support role with Chloe, just constantly putting opponent's Pokemon to sleep and slowing them down so Poliwrath can easily clean them up. Not Chi-Chi. After defeating the villagers, I spot Nemona by the outskirts of the town. Kieran says that it looks like she's heading towards the Kitakami Hall, so we chase after her. On our way, we end up being intercepted by Carmine's grandparents. We ask if they saw Nemona passing through there, and this is when we realize that Muriel over there is with the ops and recruits Gramps into the zombie horde. But for real, like, if anyone is ever this adamant about you ingesting anything, immediately say no, because you're about to either expire or lose consciousness. Anyway, Richtofen had warned me about this whole zombie apocalypse thing, so I was ready with Finster in the lead position. He's at a type disadvantage staring at the fire type and poison type across the field, but Aurora Veil is one of the best moves in the game. It sets up a reflect and a light screen in one turn, meaning that Poliwrath takes a super effective energy ball from a literal glass cannon relatively well. With Chandelure low and Arbok not being a real threat, Finster fires off a Blizzard, doing some good spread damage. Oh, and remember me saying that Arbok isn't a threat literally 4 seconds ago? Well, the thing almost one-shots Finster with a gunk shot. Okay, that didn't sound right now I'm thinking about it. Anyway, Mamoswine comes out, and I don't think Finster is too long for this world, so I send out Forge, and Arbok is taken care of by Kieran, while Forge eats up a rock slide. Weezing is sent out into battle just in time to see Mamoswine turn into a mist of fur and entrails from a flash cannon, and takes nothing from an ice punch before firing off a weak heat wave. Next turn, though, is taken care of by a Draco Meteor, and the cast of Courage is defeated. And, like Courage, Kieran starts losing his mind, thinking that he's going to be the next to get down with a sickness or something, before I snap him out of it with facts and logic. You've seen the leaks, you know it's caused by Pokemon, just let's go find the Pokemon. This is when we get a frantic call from Arven and Penny, and at first it all seems fine until we hear a random crash and the phone hangs up. We still want to go find Nemona, but honestly, I'd be more scared for whoever or whatever she encounters' safety than hers. So we go check up on the other two. They say that everything's fine and that it was all just a big misunderstanding, and that's when this happens. Dude, I love that form. And then it does that. Skill. No way, bro. Doing the Thriller March with Chicken Dance. Now I agree, we need voice acting, the game runs poorly and even looks like poo at times, but these cutscenes are just so nice. I wish we got more of them. I remember watching Oras gameplay back in the day, getting excited because of the basic changes in facial expressions during their cutscenes, quote unquote. Yeah, can you tell the stranglehold that Game Freak has on my psyche? Did my Stockholm Syndrome come on a little strong there? Well, now, because of Petrarunt, I need to battle my chicken dancing companions over there, including Penny, who is way more of a theater kid than I ever knew. You really had to put your hood on so you could take it off? Really? Once again, I lead with Finster and set up Aurora Veil. But that stupid fat squirrel uses Psychic Fangs, which I completely forgot removed screens. Okay, I see how you're playing it. Next turn, Finster knocks out Greedent with a Dazzling Gleam and does surprisingly little to Umbreon, but Penny still seems pretty ticked. Well, Umbreon goes down to a close combat from Poliwrath, and then Sylveon and Embostiff come out. I decide to try and make the most of the snow while it's still up and fire off a Blizzard. It does okay damage, but Moonblast from Sylveon lowers Finster's special attack, meaning that the spread moves will do even less now. Well, with the cannon that is Porygon Z on my side now, Finster watches a duck thingy nuke Sylveon with a Life Orb boosted Hyper Beam and sets up another Aurora Veil. He shrugs off a Fire Fang from Embostiff and out comes Lechuga. I see a decent opportunity to make up for the stat loss from that Moonblast earlier and fire off a Terra Ice boosted Blizzard for the final turn of snow. Embostiff somehow holds on, must have been all that freaking Herba Mystica the dang thing ate, but Leafeon gets sent to the Shadow Realm. And this means that it's now 2-on-1 and Embostiff can be taken care of with a Thunderbolt from Porygon Z. Arven's final Pokemon, Cloyster, comes out and Kieran ignores the super effective Thunderbolt sitting at his disposal just to miss a Hyper Beam. Why would you not use Thunderbolt? A Dazzling Gleam from Finster does way more now that it's just hitting one target, and he survives a liquidation in return. Kieran finally lines up his shot with his 50 cal rather than using the fly swatter right in front of him, and my friends are subdued for now, meaning we can focus on the Mastermind, who ends up ignoring his ability to fly just to skate across the ground, I guess? Why is it so low to the ground? You can fly, dog. Just go up higher and we won't get you. We end up finding Nemona and Pecharunt where the beginning of the DLC story really started, in the Loyalty Plaza in front of the statues of the Loyal Three. That's when Kieran turns around and spots a bit of a problem. It seems the entire town is flooding into Loyalty Plaza to get us to join their ranks. And this is just a side note, I know it's Pokemon and scale has never really been their strong suit, like this is supposed to be their in-game representation of this, but seeing like 10 NPCs and then watching Kieran say, everyone is showing up, is just kinda funny, country town or not. Well, Kieran volunteers to fight his whole town while I take on Nemona. I mean, I guess that's a fair trade. And with this battle, we are back to singles. My DLC team was obviously designed with double battling in mind, but it shouldn't really be that bad, right? Right? Well, I start off strong by remembering to put a mask on Julie, but completely forgetting to put a focus sash on Chloe, let alone making her my lead, knowing that Nemona likes to lead with Lycanroc. Oh no, I thought I switched leads. So I end up sending Finster into the meat grinder, and I can't even like Terra him into Fairy because his Terra type is Ice, and so I just decide to scout out what's going to happen using Protect, thinking that Nemona might just go for the throat, seeing the super effective option. But she reads my entire life and just uses Stealth Rock on my Protect. Oh, eat a ween. At first, I didn't want to switch anything into this dog, so Finster just fires off a Blizzard before taking half from a Stone Edge. I end up finally doing the smart thing and bring out Forge, who eats a Stone Edge like it's nothing. Nemona adjusts and goes for a drill run, but my Power of Friendship is too strong, and Forge dodges the attack and then implodes Lycanroc with a Flash Cannon. Next out was Pawmot, and I send out Whoops to absorb the close combat, but I was surprised at how little it did. Seeing this as a chance to set up a little, I go for 2 Cotton Guards and take nothing from some Ice Punches thanks to the leftovers. But the second Ice Punch ends up freezing Whoops solid. Oh, come on. Just sitting there waiting for a crit. Luckily, she ends up thawing out the second turn, and not wanting to play the freeze game again, Whoops knocks out Pawmot with a Dazzling Gleam. Goodra comes out, and unfortunately, this is just a bad matchup. The thing is a special defensive beast, and no amount of Cotton Guards is ever going to stop Whoops from being nuked by an incoming Sludge Bomb, except for the Power of Friendship. Cheating mechanics, let's go. Whoops holds on with 1 HP, while, I feel bad for letting her get knocked out after all that work. I just decide to take advantage of it and set up a Tailwind to support my other Pokemon before Whoops goes down. Sorry, Whoops, you're going down. And then the crazy Cotton Ball did it again. Or you're not. I get it. If you want to be invulnerable, I'll go to someone else. I let her take a break and switch Forge into the next Sludge Bomb and knock out Goodra with a Draco Meteor. Como-o is sent into battle, but Forge outspeeds it and lands a friendship-fueled Draco Meteor crit to send it right back to Nemona. Her next Pokemon is Ribombee, and Forge could have knocked it out with the Flash Cannon, but I had a vision. I sent out our invincible Cotton Ball to feint to Stealth Rock and get out Julie, the hero of Kitakami. I Terra Fire for the Overkill Ivy Cudgel, leaving Nemona with her last Pokemon. One that I kind of forgot she had because I hadn't battled her in a while, it's Quackable. I also didn't know that Nemona changes Flamboyant Duck's Terra type to Fighting. Oh no, it's Terra Fighting. Meaning that my choice to use Horn Leash instead of Ivy Cudgel lets the thing barely survive the hit, and literally nothing could have stopped Julie from going down to an incoming Aqua Step, and now I'm in prime position to be swept by, well, this stupid lame Blaziken knockoff. None of my Pokemon want to take hits from this thing. Here's a question, do I get swept? At this point, I'm still not trying to send in Citrus, my level 100 Hydrapple, because sweeping everything with level 100s is just kind of boring, so I send out Chloe hoping the Power of Friendship will come in clutch and allow her to survive a hit or maybe dodge something and get off a Spore. Oh yeah, he's dead. Oh god, it happens. I get swept. And she gets obliterated. Yeah, I don't care about Honor anymore. Citrus, let's go get this thing. We gotta take care of it. Citrus, you're our only hope. Well, Nemona's just smarter than me and gave her stupid Blaziken Ice Spinner, which Citrus is 4 times weak to, so if it wasn't thanks to him being level 100 and holding an Assault Vest, it would have been all over. But Citrus holds on and finishes off the battle with a Fickle Beam. From the verge of throwing, Zombie Nemona is defeated and all that's left to do is confront Pecharunt. but I know that this thing is at least poison type, so I have some team changes to make. I grab Isabelle, a Pokemon catching expert, and an experimental Pokemon, Eucalyptus. She's a Trevenant that is running a build that was useful in Sun and Moon, but I just wanted one in this game, and just maybe she would ever come in useful. And with the team in order, it's time for the battle. I lead with Isabelle and go for a Spore, but Pecharunt outspeeds and hits Isabelle with this new signature move, poisoning and confusing her. Oh, come on. Luckily, Pecharunt is greedy and went for a nasty plot rather than another attack, allowing it to be put to sleep by a Spore. Now here's where I wanted to be goofy. I sent out Eucalyptus thinking that she could skill swap with a Pecharunt dealing with his nasty new signature ability. It doesn't work on it? No! It's useless. It's here that I know I just need to send it. Isabelle comes back out and Pecharunt wakes up, but it's using Toxic, so it doesn't end up doing anything because Isabelle's already poisoned. I'm banking on some RNG, but I want to change Pecharunt to a water type, and thankfully it uses another nasty plot and the Soak connects. Do a setup move, yes. Then, Pecharunt goes for its 60th nasty plot, and Isabelle puts it to sleep with the final Spore, allowing our little hero to come out worry-free. Julie terrasolizes for the attack boost, and uses Hornleech, doing over half to the now water type mythical Pokemon. And next turn, Pecharunt is still asleep, and Julie lands the finishing blow, allowing me to catch the Puppeteer and put an end to the chicken dance. I'm battling it with your deity. I don't want to hear it. A Pokeball? I'm not catching it in a Pokeball. Ooh, a Dream Ball would look pretty cool, though. The final Pokedex entry of Scarlet and Violet. There isn't much story after this, but the little bit that is there is pretty rewarding. Oh, come on, give us dialogue between them all. That's what I was here for. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. I think that people should at least experience that much on their own. The only other things that are left to do is to mention that now Penny, Arven, and Mona are all available to be coaches in the club room, and with that comes some pretty cool new interactions. I can't even understand that first word. I took 4 years of Spanish, but it was in America, so it's not Spain Spanish, and I completely forgot about it. Also, here's Pecharunt. Alright, so I forgot to actually check it out, so I'm gonna do it now. Here is Pecharunt. It's level 88. Looks like it's a special attacker, but maybe attack is viable. It just depends on what the signature move is. Yeah, the fact that it's a ghost type makes the Dream Ball look so much better on it too. Okay, Malignant Chain, 100 power, 100 accuracy, pours toxins into the target, wrapping them in toxic, corrosive chain. And I'll have to get all of my ribbons and stuff on this guy. Yeah, there's Pecharunt. I'll have to come up with a good nickname for this little buddy, and then train him up. Okay, well, I think that's where I'm going to stop it. As you guys can see, I have 0 blueberry points, and I haven't done any of these upgrades. I mean, my item printer is base level. I don't think I've done anything with it. I have all these to do still. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. If anybody, let me zoom in. If anybody would be interested in doing a stream of grinding out blueberry points with people, then I would 100% be down. I just need to, obviously make sure I have enough people to get into a lobby. But go ahead and leave that in the comments if you guys need people to grind stuff out with, and we can go ahead and do it on stream. And while you're down there, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and please consider subscribing to the channel. Honestly, I had no idea this update was coming out when it did, but I had fun putting this together, and any support is appreciated. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.